And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, we want you to pull out your phone, save our hotline number in your phone because at some point you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372.
Here's my number, so call me maybe.
And we want you to bookmark our website, consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com, a plethora of resources available for you at consumerqb.com. Submit the contact form, and the email is going to come directly to myself. We're going to make sure that we get back to you before our head hits the pillow. You can also see 80-plus show partners there and former expert contributors on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Just click on the Expert Contributors tab, and also, think of it as your resource. Think of the show as your resource, and we want to help you no matter what you're facing. We talk a lot about real estate, mortgage, credit improvement. Today we're going to talk about real estate photography. A lot of ways that we can help you throughout your day-to-day life. So here we are in studio. Let's talk. We've got Mario Larrea in the house. He's a mortgage specialist with MI Mutual Mortgage. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, Brandon. Glad to be here again. So I'll just be going over, kind of what the what's going on with the real estate market and with interest rates, stuff like that. Some new programs we have available. And that's basically it. So it's some of the frequently asked questions that I get quite a bit.
Some of those misnomers out there in the mortgage space, a lot of those floating around. And we also have a great story. Three of four vacant residential properties in the United States are investment homes. So we're going to talk about that story as well as Ken Monzon in the house representing Febre Frameworks. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. Always a pleasure to be here, and just happy to be on the show and see what the show brings today.
Yeah, man. So today's one of your busiest days of the year, you said.
Today is our busiest day to date since Febre Frameworks has been open, man. We're shooting over 45 homes today, so
congrats.
We're supposed to be really slow right now, and we're experiencing the absolute opposite, so we're super happy.
It's very nice.
Very nice. Yes.
And now I know for sure I just added 2 more guys to my wolf pack.
All right, have a little fun today here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, we always start off with a little bit of personal development, and I had a great book. I read a great book over the weekend. Actually, second time I read it, Jen Sincero, her name was, and the book was called How to Be a Badass at Making Money. Really cool. So we're going to talk to you about phrases to watch for, the power of language. When you think about the language that we use on a day-to-day basis, and sometimes you'll notice it in friends, you'll think about your peer group when we talk about this, but you want to think about phrases to watch for. So here's what you hear sometimes. Sometimes people will say, I want, which equals I lack. Sometimes they'll say, I wish, which says, but I'm not in control, so it's disempowering. I need, because I ain't got, and it means I lack it. I lack the resources. I should, but maybe I don't want to. I can't means I'm trying, but maybe I'm not as committed as I should be. I hope, which might happen. It might not. The old hope. And wish. Sometimes people wish, and that's the other side of it. And someday I'll, they're on that island called Someday I'll. Someday I'll commit to my goals. Someday I'll commit to that weight loss program, whatever it is for you. And I don't know, which slams the door on finding out. When you say I don't know, your mind mentally just slams that door. So here's some great replacements for that. If you want to have empowering language, there's some great replacements. I have, I create, I'm grateful for, I appreciate, I enjoy, I can, I choose to, I love, I will, and I appreciate. These are words, your words are very powerful, so you got to be real careful when you're connecting and you're choosing those words, especially when you're talking to someone else, a business contact or a loved one. Use and choose them wisely. Slow down as well. I think today we're programmed to just instantly respond, so take a time to breathe and realize those thoughts before you actually speak the words. And a great story from Nelson Mandela as well is when he was growing up, he listened to his father, and he said he would travel to him from tribe to tribe, and he would sit with the elders and listen to the elders, and he always noticed something very interesting about his dad, that is Nelson Mandela, his dad, is he said he was always the last one to speak. So think about that. He's the last one to speak. He was going around the room listening to everyone's perspective, gathering all that information, and then he formulated his opinion. So, word from the Consumer Quarterback Show there, choose your words wisely and the power of language and how it can help you in your business. All right, we're here in studio. We got our Feel Good Story of the Week coming up. We got our Name That Tune as well. So we got songs from the 70s for our Name That Tune segment. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Mario Larrea, he's a local, highly respected local mortgage specialist here in Tampa Bay, and he's a longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, MI Mutual Mortgage, local lender. And, we talk about supporting your local economy here. And, we got an interesting story here. 3 of 4 vacant residential properties in the United States are investments home, according to data. Adam Data Solutions 2017 U.S. Residential Vacant Property and Zombie Foreclosure Report. Nearly 1.4 million U.S. residential properties, 1 to 4 units, were vacant at the end of the third quarter of 2017, representing 1.58% of all U.S. residential properties. Pretty staggering number there.
Yeah, and I mean, it just kind of goes to show, and we had touched on this a couple weeks ago too, where people have been. I hear this a lot that they're worried about the bubble bursting and stuff like that. But I mean, this right here just shows you the way regulations have tightened up in the mortgage industry and lending industry in general. You're not seeing the primary residence, secondary residences going into foreclosure because our guideline, the qualification process now, as far as are you able to afford the home, is so much tighter. You're not going to see it as much. They're still a little looser on the investment properties, but I would imagine a lot of this stuff is left over from some of the stuff that was happening before. But I mean, it's a great sign right there, and it says here too that even these zombie properties, or the zombie vacant properties that are in foreclosures, dropped 48% within the past year. So, a lot of these are getting picked up right now due to the lack of inventory. So overall, I mean, it's great. It's a great sign for us.
Yeah, and it shows that the banks have, worked these through the system. Whether it's a loan modification that it takes a long time. You send your payment, your income documentation in. If you're self-employed, you got tax returns involved. So you send all this documentation in. You wait and hear back. Oh, are they going to approve my loan modification? Or are they not? And then it gets to a point. Okay, well, since they're playing hardball, maybe I might file a bankruptcy. I might just do a 13 and restructure my debt. We want you to talk to Sean Yesner, YesnerLaw.com, if you do consider that. Chapter 7. Well, I'm just going to wipe it clean. I'm going to do a 7. Or potentially you look to do a short sale, but now some of the benefits of doing a short sale have expired. They've sunset those laws or those rules that were in place to give you the benefit of the phantom income. Yeah,
definitely. And I think the short sales are becoming really, really difficult now, because I was reading just the other day that as of October, we have surpassed 2007 values. Yeah. So within the past 10 years, these are the highest numbers the values are. So now you're back to where, even if you purchased in 2007 prior to the crash, you have equity now. So
I like that.
It's the short sales and the loan mods themselves are becoming less and less prevalent. And it's kind of good too. And unfortunately, I saw a lot of people get themselves in trouble, similar to what you're saying with the loan mods. It's taken so long. People decide they're going to play hardball and stop making their payments. And then the loan mod doesn't go through. Now everything's trash. They have a pre-foreclosure on their credit. Their credit's horrible. Mm-hmm. They've dug themselves so deep they can't get out. So, it's a good thing that, a lot of those are gone, because there was a lot of people that got themselves into trouble.
And that's what caused a lot of the rental market, the landlord market that we're in right now.
Right.
So many people were forced into, rather than buying, they were forced into being a renter and paying that landlord's mortgage.
Yeah, I mean, great market for landlords right now because, like we said, it's like 30% higher than purchasing a home. But the guidelines they're a lot more restrictive than they used to be. So you have to have your stuff in order. You have to have your credit in line. You have to be able to document income. So it creates a good environment for investments, and especially here in the Tampa Bay area where property values are they're considerably lower than a lot of other large markets in Florida.
Yep.
So it gets to where you can get into a property that's not that expensive, where you can make money actually renting the property and still carrying a mortgage.
Yeah, you can still cash flow the property. You have the tax advantages that you're going to be able to take advantage of. You're going to be able to depreciate that asset over time. There's lots of ways. There's typically 5 ways that you can make money off of real estate, and we all know that real estate has created the most millionaires of any asset class, including the stock market over the time. So you look at that, a great opportunity. By the way, if you just joined us here, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're in studio with Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with MI Mutual Mortgage. We also are going to hear from Ken Monzon. He's the vice president. Actually, he's with Febre Frameworks. I had my notes here from Manny, but we're going to hear more about some real estate photography as well when we talk with Ken. But, Mario, about a minute left in this segment, but what's a good call to action? We talk about, how we can have our listeners engage with us, how this time of year there's seasonally appropriate advice. We had our tax specialist on, Jake Alexander, yesterday's show, and we were talking heavy on taxes and Trump's tax plan. What would you say is some top advice right now, seasonally appropriate advice when it comes to the mortgage side?
I mean, right now is a good, I've said this the past few times that I've been on, and I can't say it enough. Like right now, a lot of people just drop off from, even if they're looking to purchase. This is a time where people kind of get distracted with the holidays and stuff coming up. So, with the lower inventory, if you're looking to purchase, this is a great time to do it. Get in there while other people are snoozing, while, I see it a lot where people are trying to purchase. They make offer after offer. They're not getting accepted. This is the time to do it.
Yeah.
When everybody else is distracted with holidays and stuff like that, it's a good time where you can get in there and get your contract accepted.
But Santa
and get
Claus
the
is coming. We got the elves on a shelf. You got, but there are a lot of distractions.
Yeah, there are.
So this is a great time if you're, and I say it on the selling side as well. If you're a seller, this is a good time to sell. Contrary to popular belief, and again, going against the grain is what we do on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Is because this is a great time to sell your properties because so many people don't want to be bothered and they're going to wait till the spring.
Yep.
I talk to expired listings every day. I talk to FSBOs. Oh, we're going to wait till the spring, and then what happens in the spring? Everybody's hitting the market.
Yeah, and especially with the low inventory. I mean, it's still a great time to list. Get it out there. I mean, there's still not that much property available, even with the people being distracted with holidays. I mean, get it out there and get moving if that's what you're thinking about doing.
Reach out to our consumer advocate hotline at 813-670-7372. Give us a call or a text 813-670-7372, consumerqb.com, and give it a shout out to our official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Two Maids and a Mop. And they provide excellent service, and a clean house helps you feel better. It helps you have a better day. You got Two Maids and a Mop offers free cleaning to cancer patients, healthy living. And with Two Maids and a Mop, your approval rating matters. They pay the rate to the staff is based on the evaluation that you give. So if you need a cleaning company, it's Two Maids and a Mop. So stay with us here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back after the short break, and we've got our feel-good story of the week, and we also are going to jump into our Name That Tune, have a little fun with you of songs from the 70s. Let's see if you can play along. We'll see you on the other side.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
Consumer quarterback Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show host, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, published author, and professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. And we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. Mario Larrea in the house. He's a mortgage specialist for MI Mutual Mortgage, local lender here in Tampa Bay. We've got Ken Monzon representing Febre Frameworks, real estate photography. And I want to let you know, as the owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here, I've got a hot listing on North Clearwater Beach. I want to let you know about it. It's 1024 Mandalay Avenue in Clearwater. It's in the Mandalay subdivision, 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, split floor plan. $749,000. Great buying opportunity here on the north side of the beach. Beautiful opportunity just north of the Sand Pearl, all those cool hotels there on the beach. 1024 Mandalay Avenue. Check out PlatinumMVPRealty.com to see all of our listings. PlatinumMVPRealty.com. And let's give a shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. The first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. It's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the intercoastal waterway. Rooftop yoga on the weekends. The Castile restaurant is awesome. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Check them out. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you over at Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on St. Pete Beach. And if you let them know that the real estate quarterback sent you, you're going to get 20% off of your room stay just by mentioning the real estate quarterback show. All right, we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. And let's go back to Mario here. So Mario, we're talking about the mortgage market, the real estate market. And how important is it, in your opinion, when you're looking at, especially from the buyer's perspective, when you're looking online, you're looking at these beautiful real estate properties, and you see some of these agents, again, yesterday's show, we're talking about good, better, and best. Some of these realtors out there, they'll use the cell phone pics. They don't even know to turn the phone sideways versus this way. And you got 8 or 10 pictures versus the full, 25 that you can have. How important is it, in your opinion, to have professional photography?
I mean, I think today it's way more important than it used to be.
Right.
Before it probably still was, but I don't know what the stats are on this, but I would say the majority of people are going online first.
Right.
And then going to see the house. So, if you have bad pictures taken, I mean, you could pass up a house that potentially in person or, with decent pictures you would have liked. So, I mean, it's huge. It's really, really important. Like I said, the majority of people are shopping online. That's right. That's how they're finding houses, or, before they really are even interested, that's how they start their interest. And, that you're just, wasting or passing you by with
the overwhelming majority. 9 out of 10 buyers start online. So Ken Monzon here for Febre Frameworks. When you think about the real estate space and what you guys are doing, it's very important to the process.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with Mario. The real estate marketing game has just changed.
Yeah.
It's not where it was 10, 20 years ago.
That's right.
And now you got to be super competitive. And, if you're a realtor out there, there's a lot of folks doing the 3D Matterports, the video walkthroughs, things like that, not just photos to really showcase a property. But, we hear it all the time. And just recently, I'll share with you one of our great clients, Mr. Shelley, shared with us that he has sold 35 homes of photos that we've taken within 7 days. And he's positive that it's because of our photos. And I agree with him. So 35 homes in 1 year that he sold within 7 days says a lot to us, and says a lot, to him being a smart realtor and using our services like that. It just guarantees, a quick turnaround for him. He loves it. We love it, so.
Especially if it's priced right.
Especially if it's priced right. And that's really the kicker as well. There's so many other folks out there that are overcharging for these services. And for Febre Frameworks, we come
I was referring
on board.
to the property.
Or to the property. Yeah. But, Sean as well, has come into this industry and has made it affordable for all realtors.
Right.
So it's not something that you really have to come, out of pocket, and it's something that's quick, easy, affordable, and, will produce great results for you. So
that's right. Yeah. So you mentioned a 3D Matterport. Is that something you offer?
That is, yes.
Okay.
3D Matterport is basically a 3D rendering of the interior of the home. Wouldn't do the exterior, but it's a complete walkthrough, like a virtual tour. Just the only difference is any spot that you get to within the home, kind of like the old 3D models that they used to have. Used to walk into one single room and you can click around the mouse. Well, with this one here, you can just roam about the whole entire home. So there's little circles on the floor. You just click on the circles. It'll take you to that corresponding room. You can look up and down, around. Great for buyers who won't be able to make it to the property at all.
That's pretty cool.
This will allow them to zoom in the corners. They can see imperfections.
How does that work? So you put the camera in the room, and the camera is going to do kind of like the old. I remember I went to state as a wrestling freshman, and it was the first time I saw this. They had, I think it was at the Lakeland Center there in Lakeland, but they had all the representatives from each school wrapping around the convention center, whatever, Lakeland Center, and then they did one of those panoramic when the camera just moves slowly. They said, "Hold, stand still, don't move." So is it similar to that technology but they're painting the whole room, basically?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. It's going to take multiple shots, as it does that 360 turnaround. So think of it kind of like a surveying camera. If you've ever seen one of those, basically the same idea. So every rotation that it takes, it's snapping, as it goes, and it's creating that 3D rendering for us. So as far as the editing is concerned, Matterport, the company itself, they take care of all that. So once we just click on the photos, they take care of all the editing for us, and they send it over to us, and it's a no-brainer. So we are single-handedly also the most affordable Matterport real
estate photography.
We're the most affordable Matterport retailer in the greater Tampa Bay area. Matterport recently reached out to us and asked us what we were doing. That we had so many Matterports being uploaded there, but we are the number one most affordable. So if you're looking for a 3D rendering of your home, please come out, give us a call. Our number is 908-5600. We'll be more than happy to help you out.
Very something cool. Else I was just thinking about too, and this we had talked about this before, how Florida is the number one relocation state.
Yeah.
I mean, those people can't physically come see the property.
Right.
So how else are they? Yeah, I mean, how else are they going to see it? Whether without the pictures,
Yeah.
So real important in that market, especially. If people live here, you potentially could get in your car and go drive by. I doubt people are really doing that a whole lot, but that's a huge market for it too.
Here's something that comes up too. It's a great point you brought up there, Mario. By the way, if you just joined us, Mario Larrea, mortgage specialist, MI Mutual Mortgage. To my right, Ken Monzon, Febre Frameworks. To my left, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. When you talk about the out-of-state buyer that's looking at these beautiful online photography by Febre Frameworks or maybe the 3D Matterport, they're gonna look online. 9 out of 10 buyers, statistics show that. Then they're going to either schedule one trip down because everybody's on a budget. Most people are on a budget, we should say.
And time
They're going to come. Yeah, and time constraints work. They're going to come down Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe head out. So sometimes you have the sellers that are, oh, well, I didn't make the bed. It's not tidy. I got guests in town. I'm always saying, well, listen, show the property no matter what. Show the property. They can see through the imperfections. They can see that the bed's not made, big deal, But so many people have that overwhelming just pride of ownership, whatever that is, to a fault. Because then if that buyer doesn't get in there on that Sunday afternoon, they're back on the plane.
Definitely not going to buy. I mean, if you don't go up to bat, you're never going to hit it.
That's it.
So you may as well show a little bit off than not show.
Coming into our break. All right, stay with us when we come back. More from our expert contributors, and we've got our feel-good story of the week and Name That Tune. So stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate program, helping you win in any marketplace. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com. Listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team at USF, and real excited about the Bulls season. Got a potential bowl game coming up. Longtime quarterback on our sports teams, and now we're quarterbacking transactions for our sellers, our buyers, our investors out there. We're quarterbacking introductions to our 80-plus show partners here with the Consumer Quarterback Show. CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys that are associated with the show, credit experts, ways that we can help you live a better life and avoid commission-based advice. There's so much commission-based advice out there. We want to help you, but it's up to you to make the call. 813-670-7372, 813-670-7372. check out our website, consumerqb.com. You can submit the form there at consumerqb.com. There's an email contact form, comes directly through to us, and we'll make sure we get right back to you. And we're giving a shout out to Signature Massage and Facial Spa here in Tampa. Are you looking for a place to get a massage or a facial at an affordable price, but without having to sign up for membership? Look no further at Signature Massage and Facial Spa. They offer a 1-hour sweetest massage for $49.95. Always no contracts. Come in early during the early bird hours and receive an additional $10 off. For those muscles and knots that need extra work, ask about getting a deep tissue or sports massage. And if skincare is what you're looking for, they have amazing facial and microderm packages. Check out Signature Massage and Facial Spa at 11248 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Call directly at 813-925-8898, 925-8898 to schedule an appointment. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, and you're going to get 10% off of your first service at Signature Massage. A couple of hot listings here. Compliments of Platinum MVP Realty, 3610 Casablanca Avenue on beautiful St. Pete Beach. This is north of the Don Cesar, south of Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora, and it's a duplex. It's a rare opportunity to buy a duplex, an income-producing duplex on St. Pete Beach, $625,000. And we got a beautiful property in St. Pete as well, the old Northeast section. This is 215 12th Avenue Northeast, St. Petersburg. 4 bedrooms, 5 bath, over 3,688 square feet. And it's listed at $1.19 million. Pre-construction opportunity, and it's a great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. All right, we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. Let's go back to Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist here in Tampa Bay. Later coming up as well, we got Ken Monzon, Febre Frameworks, real estate photography. So Mario, when we look at seasonally appropriate advice, here we are kind of rolling into 2018 already. We think about tax planning, we think about the preparation, but it would probably be a good time to talk about finding out, as you had mentioned, we're passing the 2007 values. Then a lot of the listeners may have more equity than they think. It might be an opportunity to reduce PMI. There's some options there. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that right now. Even people that I had done their purchases a couple years back, because so a lot of them I'm doing are FHA, some conventional too, but those loans right now, you can get your mortgage insurance dropped. Rates are still pretty low, so it's pointless for the consumer paying that mortgage insurance. I mean, it's great because it allows you to get into the home with not as much money down, but if you have the equity, I mean, it's not doing anything for you. So, all that mortgage insurance is doing is protecting the lender. So there's really no point at all in paying it. You may as well call. It's worth a call to see, if you purchase like 2 years or more back and you haven't done anything, you definitely want to look at it. Yeah, and it's one of the things I see too, especially in the past when I was looking at doing more short sales. I was doing more short sale volume. You see that the banks would be less likely to negotiate on a property that was upside down. For those of you that aren't familiar, short term, if you're a short sale rather, is if you're upside down on the mortgage. And let's say the value's not there, the investors, typically there's a lot of deferred maintenance. The investors wanting to make an offer of $150. Let's say the property has a mortgage on it for $200,000, and the investor wants to make an offer of $140, $150. What you find with those loans that have the mortgage insurance is that the banks are less likely to play ball. They're less likely to negotiate because they know they're insured. If they're insured, and if it goes to foreclosure, they get paid anyway. Yeah, they're covered 80%. So they only are liable for 80%, and the rest of it is covered. So yeah, they definitely it's something that covers them. Again, it doesn't really do much other than it's money that you're spending, and it's quite a bit of money too in most cases. Typically your minimum you're looking at, it's like $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. That's real money, and that's like the minimum that you see. They go up, $300-$400 a month. That's a lot of money that you're paying. Most cases that's people's property tax bill, so it's definitely something to look into. The other thing too, when you refinance, a lot of people have the misconception that, hey, I've been in this loan for 30 years or for 3 years, I don't want to go back to 30. You don't have to. You can actually do 27-year mortgages, 26, 28.
look at doing a 25-year mortgage, actually accelerate the terms. A lot of times people that I'm working with, we can accelerate the terms and match the payment that they're doing now without the mortgage insurance. So the payment still drops. They shave off a couple years off their mortgage, which is a ton of savings. I mean, people don't think about that, but I mean, 2 or 3 years of a mortgage payment's a lot of money.
Absolutely.
The other thing too is you start off in a 30-year term. That first 5 years is pretty much all interest. So you get down to a 25-year term, right off the bat, you're hitting that principal pretty hard. So,
right.
It's definitely something to look into.
What do you think about also kind of on that same note of paying it down faster, eliminating some interest, getting to that principal payoff faster? What's the latest on these the biweekly payment programs?
They're great programs. I mean, I kind of use it like the analogy I use. It's almost like a 401k. I mean, it's something that most people in theory will say, hey, I'm going to overpay my mortgage, but do they ever really, they never really do it.
Right.
So if you sign up for one of those, you're automatically adding, one payment a year. A 30-year mortgage turns into a 25-year term. You can set it up for like every 2 weeks, let's say, add $20 more to each payment, and you wouldn't believe how much interest that knocks off.
Right.
I mean, anything you're prepaying, you're paying at 0% interest. So if you take the mortgage out, let's say at 4.5%, but you accelerate the terms to 25, you're not paying 4.5%. I don't know what the figure is off the top of my head, but it's a lot less.
You talk about a net effective interest rate.
Exactly.
So that's your effective rate.
Right. It could be set up at whatever. And, as long as you're prepaying anything on that mortgage, you're not paying any interest on it. So it's always a great thing to set up. Nice thing about it is it's very flexible. So, if, like, let's say you can set it up if you're getting paid every 2 weeks to coincide with your actual paycheck. So, it's a half payment every 2 weeks. So it's a little bit easier to handle than the one full payment.
Yeah.
And, it's saving you money.
Yeah, it is. It's something that you think about. You're going to pay your mortgage anyways.
Right.
So might as well pay it that way and get ahead of it. One thing as a note to consumers out there is to be careful if you do sign up with a third-party company. A lot of times they'll charge you like $6.95 or $7.95 per ACH hit or transaction hit. Kind of like you pull money out of an ATM machine, they're going to hit you for $1 or $2. Sometimes, if you're out of state, Boston or New York, it's going to be $4 or $5 sometimes. So just be careful of that because that can add up too, those little fees.
Yeah, it can. I mean, for the most part, it's still, well, not for the most part. Every time, even with those fees, I mean, it's better to do it than not do it because the money you're saving is still better. But, definitely look around, talk to your servicing company. Sometimes they'll do it actually for nothing, but it's definitely a great thing to do. And if you can set it up for a little bit extra, just to get that mortgage paid down. It's just like I was saying, kind of like a 401k, it's a savings. I mean, a savings account, you're building up equity that you're keeping. Maybe you're not, you can't tap into it right that second, but if you need to, you can.
Right. Yeah, I love it. Mario Larrea here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's a mortgage specialist with MI Mutual Mortgage. Support your local economy, support your local lenders here. And also Ken Monzon, Febre Frameworks. So let's go back to Ken here. So Ken, busy day for Febre Frameworks. You guys have experienced some really explosive growth. We've been partners for over a year now, I believe, a couple of years roughly. What do you see happening in the future? How do you see things going?
As long as this bubble doesn't burst, I foresee us steadily increasing, our sales, only because of the market that we're in. We're super fortunate, to be experiencing this and to see, so many people coming to Tampa and to Florida to buy homes. It's a wonderful thing for us. So
great place to live, work, and play.
We try in other markets as well, and we don't get the same results. We've been out to Phoenix. We tried that area. We're in Orlando as well. Man, Tampa, the greater Tampa area has just been very, very good to us. So I foresee us, until that bubble burst, taking advantage and, just providing everybody with the real estate photography.
Yeah, and there's no bubble. I don't think there's a bubble, but I think what you're implying kind of that things may slow down.
Sure.
At some point they may slow down. And we talked about this at length yesterday's show, so I won't go too deep into it. But what I think is going to happen on the commercial side, commercial real estate's going to get hit. You're going to see commercial real estate slow down first because of Amazon, Groupon, even Walmart.com. All of these online shopping places are going to be basically consolidating warehouse space and creating these super machines with the robots that package the inventory. And so I think that we're going to see it hit into the commercial space a little bit sooner. You guys comment on that? Any ideas on that?
Yeah, I was actually just looking at something before the show too. That's interesting. In Florida, we actually have one of the nation's lowest unemployment rates too. So I mean, that's going to contribute to the residential staying strong here. And that's part of what's driven the values up anyway. Because like in 2007, they were given 2007 and prior. I mean, if you were alive and had a heartbeat, you could get a loan.
Right.
Like you didn't have to do anything. You didn't pay anybody else before. They didn't care. They'd give you a loan. But now it's not like that. So, you're actually having to go through these qualification process. And so with the unemployment rate dropping, these are legitimate loans. And just like you said, I don't see that we're going to have the bubble burst. Yeah. Definitely there's going to be some slowing down. Right. But, I as far as residential, I don't look at commercial a whole lot, but I mean that makes a lot of sense. I mean, with these these companies all doing all the online sales, I mean it's definitely going to hit businesses,
product-based businesses, definitely. All right, stay with us here, Consumer Quarterback Show. More from our expert contributors, Mario Larrea, MI Mutual Mortgage, Ken Monzon, Febre Frameworks. When we come back, we're also going to jump into our lightning round. We got our Name That Tune. And we got an interesting story here as well. Feel-good story of the week is vending machines for homeless will provide food, clothes, and books. Find out more and when the anticipation of this landing in the United States is. It's already going on in UK. So stay with us here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, everybody. I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay. We're helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. Some very unique strategies that we employ to help you maximize the exposure, maximize the profits on the sale of your real estate. So if you're looking to sell, we'd love to talk to you. There's a low inventory market right now. We could offer you a comparable market analysis and help you understand more about the comparables in your neighborhood, what's going on with foreclosure activity, if any, and help you with that. ConsumerQB.com is our website, ConsumerQB.com. You can submit an email form there at the website, and you can also call us directly on our hotline at 813-670-7372, 813-670-7372. And I got one hot property for this segment I want to tell you about, 10217 Timberland Point Drive in Tampa. Arbor Green subdivision, kind of that new Tampa area. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, completely upgraded, over 2,750 square feet living, built in 1999, $340,000. Great buying opportunity. The owner, is motivated. So let's go ahead and have some fun. You guys ready to name that tune? We'll jump in there and we'll have some fun. Name that tune.
Ladies and gentlemen, name that tune.
All right, name that tune. So we're going to have some fun here. So we got Mario Larrea in studio, Ken Monzon. So we got 5 songs from the 70s. This is song number 1.
Elton John.
Mario, you did good last time too, didn't you?
Yeah, the times before though I got killed.
I remember last time
there was some girl in either one.
Yeah, either one. That was Crocodile Rock, 1973. All right, here we go. 1976. Paul McCartney. And Wings. Silly Love Song.
There we go.
All right, here we go.
I know the song.
I think they remade it a lot too.
There's so many songs that are remade that you wouldn't know unless you were.
To Be Real? Was that the title? I don't know.
No, that's the chorus though.
That
I
was
think.
the chorus.
To Be Real.
Okay. All right,
yeah.
all right.
So that's Emotions, Best of My Love, 1974.
Well.
All right, here's one you guys will probably know.
God, know we're doing all right. Here it wept the women just around midnight.
Mick Jagger.
It is. Rolling Stones, Brown Sugar.
Wow.
All right, song number 5.
Rod Stewart.
Yeah. Song title?
Maggie.
Yeah. Maggie May.
Nice.
That's right. Maggie May. Yeah.
All right.
Tearing it up. All right, that's good. That's your Name That Tune. We have a little fun with you. So we always like to add a little positivity to your day as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Going against the negative media out there, we're going to tell you something good.
Tell me something good.
Vending machines for the homeless will provide food, clothes, and books. And the UK's first vending machine designed specifically for homeless people will launch just in time for Christmas. Homeless vending machines credit is Action Hunger. The machines dispense water, fresh fruit, energy bars, chocolate, sandwiches, socks, sanitary towels, antibacterial lotion, toothbrush, toothpaste combination packs, and books. The concepts come from a charity, Action Hunger, whose mission is to alleviate poverty and hardship amongst homeless. How it works: the food is received from supermarkets, charities, local swaps, and excess produce. So we also produce the items such as socks and sanitary towels. Volunteers distribute the food items across a network of vending machines on a daily basis. Those in need access the machine using special key card. Action Hunger says the key cards are programmed to permit up to 3 items being vended per day, and participants will need to check in local outreach center at least once per week in order to keep using it. Action Hunger plans to install vending machines for the homeless across the United States for the start of next year, with sites earmarked for Seattle, New York, and LA. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very.
That's really neat, yeah.
Hopefully people don't start abusing that. It's going to be the next thing you have to deal with. But that's great.
Yeah, hey, another way to help out.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning round.
All right, lightning round is top tips, nuggets of advice, words of wisdom. Mario Larrea, you're up first.
I'm going to go with something way off the mortgage topic, but what you were talking about earlier. I read something about the positive message you were reading earlier. Your words become thoughts, thoughts become your actions. So you really do have to watch what you're saying, because you're going to end up doing exactly what you're saying.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, and then your actions become your character. I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
It just keeps going.
Yeah, it keeps going. That's right. Yeah, great stuff, man. I like that. All right, parting words of advice, words of wisdom. Ken Monzon.
Mario, I was going to go back to his opening comments as well. You really, really, really want to, watch what you say, be humble. As business owners, sometimes, we have a tendency to just be so busy and forget about things that matter and things that are important. So we got to kind of like take some time there and treat everybody with the respect that you want, that you would want to receive, and build relationships that last a long time. So often we're just trying to see what we can get from somebody, as opposed to let's see how long we can make this relationship last with somebody, even if we're just getting a little bit now. But, especially around the holiday season, everybody, just be kind to one another there. And, don't wait for tomorrow. If you have something that you've been wanting to do and you need to get it done, right now is the time to do it. Go ahead and write it down, put it on paper, make it visual, put it up somewhere. And even if you're making small strides towards it, at least you're doing something and you're not waiting until tomorrow. So
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just the act of writing it down, taking it from your head to pen and paper, is powerful.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. I always say that. That's a
absolutely.
great idea. Write it down.
That's right. Write it down. Take action. One of my favorite, Tony Robbins. I've been in his business mastery. I just went to his UPW event a couple weeks ago. Is whenever you come across the site of setting a goal or some type of a new action or a thought, is take an action item a step towards achieving that. So right then and there, make sure that you take an action item. Could be something as writing it down, scheduling the call, sending the text, sending the email, scheduling the appointment.
Hardest part's getting started.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And there's also a rule called the 10-90 rule. Brian Tracy, in one of his books, he talks about, if you take the 10% of the task and just chunk it down and do that first 10%, you get momentum. And then you sometimes get into the task that you dreaded and you start saying, oh, wow, this is flowing better than I thought. And you end up biting off more than the 10%.
Yep.
So it helps you with that.
See that a lot.
So the Consumer Quarterback Show, we want to help you win. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your health wheel. We've got doctors on the show that can help you as well. Dr. Mejia talks about bioidentical hormones. We've got mental health counselors as well with the show. Leila Bloodsworth, she was scheduled to be on the show today. Credit improvement experts, 3 or 4 different types of attorneys associated with our show. So we want you to think about this as the hub of your financial, your business, your health wheel, and each spoke extending out representing another one of our preferred partners, our on-air expert contributors. And these are all folks that can help you live a better life, help you overcome those unforeseen circumstances that may pop up in your life. They can help you. And maybe it's not you. Maybe it's a loved one. Maybe it's someone that you care for, but they wouldn't make the call. That's even more important. Maybe you're that friend that, is not an enabler. You're that positive vision for your friend, your family, your loved one. Why don't you reach out, 813-670-7372. Give us a call or a text, anything that we can do to help you. And believe me, no topic is off base. We've seen a lot of different calls, different topics come in, 813-670-7372. And you can also submit an email at consumerqb.com. There's a form on our website. You can see all of our expert contributors there at consumerqb.com. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, being a force for good in the community. Be kind to one another. Also, thank a soldier, a veteran, especially this time of year. Many of them are overseas protecting our freedom here in the United States. So please be kind and go out there and be a force for good in the community. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.